loud, ayy. Going up, going up, going up, going up, yeah. Going up, going up, going up, going up, yeah. Going up, going up, going up, going up, yeah. Going up, going up, going up, going up, yeah.
It's the Orioles on Masson. The Orioles coming off a great offensive night, a season-high 14 runs, a 9-run third inning. And tonight, the O's will see if they can pick up a series win against the NL East leading Atlanta Braves. And we welcome you in, everybody. I'm Jeff Arnold, alongside by Ben McDonald. Orioles offense had been very quiet over the series against New York. However, last night they busted out big time.
No doubt about that. I mean, you look at that series against New York, only 21 total base runners in 4 games. They had 24 base runners last night alone. A season high, as you mentioned, 14 runs, 15 hits. 4 of those hits left the yard. So it was an offensive explosion, a much welcomed explosion for the Orioles last night.
Yeah, it was. And the pitching remained very good from a starting perspective. Dean Kramer, John Means, great in the Bronx. And last night it was Jorge Lopez's turn.
Yeah, the last 3 starts have been really good. 1 run in each of those 3 starts. I tell you what, and you take it back further than that, the last 10 starts for the Orioles, 7 of the last 10 they've given up 1 earned run or less. So in that 10-game span, the starting pitching has gotten much better. Pitched to a 3.44 ERA during that span.
Thomas Eshelman is trying to keep that trend going today. He makes the start. What are you looking to see out of him tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what he's done really good this year. They didn't do too well last year. He's kept the ball in the ballpark. Gave up 12 home runs last year, only 5 so far this year. How has he done it? He's been much more consistent. The ball's been down in the zone. The sinker's really working, and his off-speed stuff has been outstanding as well. He's been really good. In his 3 starts so far this year, 2 earned runs or less in all of his 3 starts so far.
He'll try and keep it going against Huascar Ynoa for the Atlanta Braves. Beautiful night in Baltimore. See if they can get a series win against the Braves. Southwest Airlines, big heart and low fares. Book now at southwest.com. Atlanta Braves starting lineup for tonight. Ronald Acuna Jr. leads things off. Freddie Freeman with a 30-game on-base streak bats second. Marcell Ozuna out of the DH spot. Travis d'Arnaud back behind the plate. Dansby Swanson is the shortstop. Former Oriole Nick Markakis in right field. Adam Duvall has had a big September, leads the major leagues in home runs. Austin Riley is the third baseman, and Ozzie Albies rounds things out at second base.
And there is Thomas Darwin Eshelman from Carlsbad, California, former second-round pick by the Astros back in 2015 out of Cal State Fullerton. Making his 10th appearance, it is his 4th start. He leads this team in wins with 3 wins, 3.96 ERA. Worked in 25 innings, 11 punch-outs, 8 walks. Opponents hitting just .213 off Thomas Eshelman. Here's Thomas Eshelman's pitch arsenal, 4-seamer and a 2-seam, so 2 different fastballs. He'll use them equally, a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. And that was StatCast, powered by Google Cloud.
And you mentioned with Thomas Eshelman just how he's done a better job at keeping the ball in the ballpark this season. That will be key against this Atlanta Braves team that is tied for first in the major league in runs scored. And they are tied for second in the big leagues with 83 home runs. So a nice night for baseball in Baltimore. Things starting to get a little bit cooler. 65 degrees as we are ready to go. Second game of 3. Ronald Acuna in the box. And Eshelman delivers a strike to start things off.
Thomas Eshelman not going to throw hard. He won't light up the radar gun. It's going to be 86 to 88, that 2-seam and 4-seam fastballs. A bigger breaking ball, a tight slider as we showed you, and a changeup that's been getting better and better.
Starts off Acuna ahead 0-2.
And that's where he's going to have to live in a time now where pitching seems to be getting up to the top part of the strike zone. That's not Thomas Eshelman's game. He likes to be down below the knees with that sinking fastball.
Strike 3. Or the changeup.
2 fastballs, then a changeup. Boy, Ronald Acuna Jr. caught looking on all 3. Boy, how about this pitch? What a start that one is. Kind of dives down and in. So you get 2 fastballs down at the bottom. And then there's that circle change. And look at the late action down and in. Acuna caught looking.
Ronald Acuna, he's now been held hitless in his last 12 at-bats. And has struck out 9 times in his last 3 games. Freddie Freeman looks at a breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Freeman has had a huge September. 23 runs driven in this month. Takes a changeup strike, 1-1. Gonna go with that. Freeman tops in the National League with 44 driven in on the year. Rolls this one foul, and it's 1-2. Braves team that we said a dangerous offensive club, tied for first in the major leagues in runs scored, first in OPS, second in the big leagues in slugging, second in on base percentage, and they will hit the long ball too.
Well, it's not much they can't do. Before last night, and boy, I tell you what, Orioles really good pitching performance last night. But all in all, it was a team that came in the last 5 games going into the last night with the Braves. They were averaging 10.5 runs a game in the month of September. The best team in baseball in the month of September when it comes to runs per game.
Freeman hits this one in the air to left. Hayes going back. He's got room on the track.
Jorge Lopez was too good for him last night. Here's the defense behind Thomas Eshelman. Austin Hayes over in left. Cedric Mullins in center field. DJ Stewart in right. Jose Iglesias and Hanser Alberto up the middle. Rio Ruiz at third base. And how about Ryan Mountcastle gets his first big league start at first base. Pedro Severino behind home plate.
Brings up Marcell Ozuna. Freeman 23 RBIs this month. Ozuna with 20. Eshelman starts him off with strike 1.
There's that good fastball down in the zone where he has to live, 88 miles an hour. That's all you're going to see. If he stays down there, he's going to be in pretty good shape.
Off the inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. That one was 87. 88's probably going to be about as fast as you're going to see from Thomas Eshelman. Grew up watching the likes of Greg Maddux, and then he pays attention to Kyle Hendricks as well for the way he pitches. Ozuna hits it into right, and the Braves have got their first hit of the game. Keeps the inning alive for Travis d'Arnaud.
Ozuna having a heck of a year. 14 homers. You mentioned him, 43 RBIs. And how about the batting average, 317? It goes up. Watch him go get this ball on the outside part of the plate. Didn't try to pull it, just simply throws the bat head at it. Hands will go first. The barrel will follow it. There's that inside out swing for a base hit with 2 out.
Sends out the catcher, Travis d'Arnaud. 35th game of the year. It's been a career offensive season for him. Eshelman misses outside with a breaking ball.
Yeah, the Braves kind of picked d'Arnaud up in the offseason thinking, all right, we're going to add a really, because he's been a really solid defensive catcher, good catch and throw guy, handles a pitching staff very well. And the offensive numbers this year, you see him having a career year at the plate.
A lot of gap-to-gap power. The Orioles got to see him when he was with the Tampa Bay Rays last season. Eshelman seeing if he can put a scoreless first on the board. That is always a key for Thomas Eshelman if he can get through the first and second innings. So they had 1 and 2.
Yeah, last year had his struggles the first, second, and third inning, but this year it's been a totally different year for Thomas Eshelman. He's just been more consistent. Remember, last year was his first time in the big leagues, first time to get called up. He gets traded over in June to the Orioles, quickly makes his major league debut.
d'Arnaud lays off a good breaking ball.
There's Thomas Eshelman. Opponents by situation. See, none on. Opponents hitting 197. Runners on 250. Runners in scoring position 286. But out that 2 out with runners in scoring position, he's been really good.
Got him to chase. Eshelman with 2 strikeouts in his first inning. Orioles coming to bat against Huascar Ynoa. First inning, the Orioles lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Big heart and low fares. Book now at southwest.com. Cedric Mullins back in the leadoff spot tonight. Jose Iglesias had his first homer a night ago. He bats second. DJ Stewart hit a home run himself, as did Ryan Mountcastle with a big OPS in the month of September. Pedro Severino back in the lineup tonight. Renato Nunez, Rio Ruiz, Hanser Alberto got a day off last night, while Austin Hayes back in left field tonight.
And they'll take their swings off Huáscar Ynoa, just 22 years old. He's in his second step with the Braves this year. He's called up on August the 4th. He spent a month in the big leagues, but really struggled. Sent back down to their alternate site. Recalled back on September the 10th. He's making his 8th appearance, his 4th start of the year. And looking at the numbers, you could tell where the problem is. 14 2/3 innings pitched, 12 walks. You talk to anybody with the Braves, they love the stuff. It's a fastball that's going to be a mid-90s and sometimes even higher than that fastball. But the ability to control it has been an issue for him.
Mullins shows bunt and takes outside. The Braves have had lots of problems in their starting rotation this year. They've had a bunch of different injuries. Mike Soroka, who is their staff ace, lost due to an Achilles issue. Cole Hamels is actually going to make his first start of the year for Atlanta tomorrow against the O's. And they've also been down Max Fried. He's supposed to come off the injury list later in the week. So they've had a number of slots they've had to fill, and they're going to Ynoa here.
Yeah, I mean, you just named 4, and don't forget Felix Hernandez was penciled in to be their 4th or 5th starter too. He opted out before the season began, so that's 4 guys: Soroka, Fried, Hernandez, of course Cole Hamels. You were counting on when the season began. You had to have those 4 guys in there, and Fried was having a really, he was in the conversation for Cy Young award. He was 6-0 with a 1.9 ERA. The good news for the Braves is Fried is supposed to be back soon. It was just back spasms with him, and you mentioned Hamels will make his 2020 debut tomorrow.
Come against Keegan Aiken. Ynoa starts off with a strikeout of Mullins.
And there's that big fastball too at 98 miles an hour. This is just a good old 4-seamer, just painted right down and away. Cedric Mullins swings right underneath it. So a good start for Ynoa.
Now he'll face Jose Iglesias. Last night matched career highs in hits and RBIs, 4 of each. What was a big Orioles win, 14-1. And the Orioles, big inning for them was the 3rd inning, where they scored it 9 times.
9 times and 3 home runs in the 3rd alone.
Hits this one down the line and right. It's a fair ball, and it one-hops the fence. Markakis fires in towards second, and it is a double for Jose Iglesias. Another 2-bagger for Iggy, and a 1-out base runner for the O's.
Well, he's racked up a ton of doubles this year. Hit his first home run of the year last night. But the reason why he's hitting so good this year, hitting over 370 now, is that right there. The ability to drive the ball to the opposite field. He's pretty much a gap-to-gap guy. This one right down the right field line. One hops off the 318 sign. Markakis gets it in, but not in time. And there's Jose Iglesias with a 2-out double. Or 1-out double, rather.
Brings up DJ Stewart. He left the ballpark last night. 6 home runs in his last 9 games. Starting to call him Babe.
Well, he's not missing them right now. If mistakes are being made, he's barreling them up.
Hits this one sharply up the middle. Knocked down by Swanson. They get him by a step, but Iglesias moves down to 3rd. 2 outs, runner 90 feet away from Mountcastle.
Another ball barreled up by DJ Stewart. This time he drives it right back from whence it came, up the middle, but Dansby Swanson positioned perfectly, knocks it down, gloves it, and over to Freddie Freeman for the 2nd out.
Now Stewart and Mountcastle, they went back-to-back with home runs in the 3rd inning last night. And here was that long ball a night ago.
Yeah, the second of the 3 home runs in third. Another breaking ball. And boy, he has wore out some off-speed pitches since coming up. That's been the most impressive thing for me. That one off the bat at 103.7, 408 feet. The big league average 103, but he is 385 off of off-speed pitches this year, breaking balls.
Sends that one foul, down 0-2, and 13 total hits off of breaking balls. He's done so many things well. And one of the things he's doing immediately was when he'd get a breaking ball, he'd find a way to take it to the opposite field.
Well, and you look at his career numbers and you knew that he was pretty good at off-speed pitches, because you don't hit 295 in the minor leagues without being able to use the entire field. You saw, you knew about the home runs, 25 last year, International League MVP, but the ability to drive the ball to all fields, and he's shown that since coming to the big leagues.
Kicks away, but Iglesias not going anywhere. d'Arnaud with a big stop to keep Iglesias down at third.
This is what Travis d'Arnaud is known for, handling a pitching staff, and be able to do this right here. Runner just 90 feet away. See the forward lean? That's what kind of keeps the ball in front. He's not sure where it goes, but it doesn't kick far enough away for Iglesias to get home.
One ball and 2 strikes. Jose Iglesias down at third base after he doubled and moved up on the Stewart groundout. Mountcastle fights off a breaking ball.
Well, here's the Braves defense behind Inoa. Adam Duvall out in left field. Ronald Acuna Jr. in center. Nick Markakis back out in right up the middle. Dansby Swanson, Ozzie Albies at second base. You see Austin Riley at third and Freddie Freeman over at first, and Travis d'Arnaud back behind home plate.
Arrows got a first inning run last night. See if they can do it again tonight. And Mountcastle keeps the at bat going against Inoa. So far, he's hearing good velocity out of Huascar Inoa. A bunch of 98-mile-an-hour fastballs to get his night started.
They stay out of the bullpen this year at times. He's hit triple digits. That's what kind of arm he has. And remember, he's just 22 years old, but just trying to zero his stuff in right now.
Mountcastle goes down on a breaking ball. Inoa gets him on a slider. Iglesias stranded at third, and after one, we're scoreless.
Jackets and hoodies, and then there's the rest of us. A hot topic, though, homegrown Orioles in this lineup. There are 4 more of them tonight. All 4 of them outfielders, if you count Ryan Mountcastle, of course, at first base. You've got Austin Hayes, you've got Cedric Mullins, you've got DJ Stewart. Last night they had 5, counting catcher Chance Sisco. That was the most that they had in the lineup all season, and this is a real source of pride for the organization. Of course, they love the idea of having guys they've drafted and developed, not just make the majors, but actually stay here. And of course, we have to remember Trey Mancini will be back next season, selected out of Notre Dame. Ryan McKenna's on the 40-man roster. He could be getting closer. Heston Kjerstad, of course, the first rounder this year, could move quickly out of the University of Arkansas. So they're pretty excited. But this outfield now, you've got all homegrown guys, and you may find this interesting. If not, they'll just turn off my mic. But I checked with Stats Research, and it says that this would be the first time the Orioles have had over half of their outfield starts by homegrown players since 2011, and the highest percentage since 2004. And that percentage is 58.9% this year. So only 2004 they had more. That was 60.9. And if you guys are able to name even 2 of those outfielders on the 2004 team that were homegrown, I will send a bag of Utz chips your way.
Ben, we got some work to do.
Well, I tell you who's doing some work right now, and that's Thomas Eshelman, as he punches out Dansby Swanson to start the top of the second inning. How about this breaking ball? Spins it, starts it in the zone, and watch the depth of it. Right at the end, you see Swanson a little bit out in front, and he swings right over to the top of it.
5 batters faced so far, 3 strikeouts for Eshelman. And Rock makes a really good point. I mean, he said 4 homegrown tonight, 5 homegrown in the starting lineup last night. And as you continue to accrue more talent through the draft, through the international signing process, through trades like the Orioles have done this year, it leaves you very excited about what is to come. And you've got a system that is going to be sustaining itself for a really long period of time.
And that's what it's going to take. I mean, if you're going to go compete with the best of the best every year in the American League East. You got to draft well, you got to develop within, and that's what the Orioles have done with these players, and you're starting to see some of the fruits of that. But you know, every successful organization out there has drafted well, they've developed well, they bring players in, they have a nucleus of guys they've drafted, and they finish it off and put you over the top with maybe a free agent or two every now and then.
Yeah, 8th ranked overall, second most improved since 2019. Look at that. 5 prospects in the top 100, headlined by Adley Rutschman, who's down at the alternate site for the Orioles right now.
Yeah, you go back 2 or 3 years ago and there was never any talk about an Orioles farm system that was ranked anywhere. Now all of a sudden it's 8th. The last 2 drafts have been really good for the Orioles. Rutschman draft, of course, Heston Kjerstad that Rock mentioned earlier, the 2020 draft.
Markakis lines this fair. Hayes over to retrieve. Markakis turning for second. He's safe there, and Alberto lost the glove and got a little bit of a stinger as his glove came off right near the second base bag.
2-seam fastball running away from Nick Markakis, and you've seen this a lot over his career. He can really use the opposite field. He just melts one down the left field line. A good job by Austin Hayes. I tell you what, I think Nick Markakis was going to be out. I don't know why he was not sliding. Quick tag by Hanser Alberto, but couldn't hang on to the glove.
I think where he got Markakis on the foot, kind of in an awkward spot. He was a little bit shaken up, that like left hand. Glove came off. Markakis at second, and now here's Adam Duvall. Here's one more look at this tag attempt by Alberto.
Alberto's, of course, expecting Nick Markakis to be sliding. You can't see him as he's coming because he's trying to field the ball and apply the tag at the same time. So he quickly catches it and goes down. But Markakis was more or less stepping on the bag as opposed to sliding.
Seems like he kind of intentionally spiked him in the hand almost as he was going down for the tag, and I think Alberto probably a little bit surprised as well that Markakis didn't slide. Duvall, you got to be careful with him. He's got 9 home runs this month. That's the most in the big leagues. Good pitch by Eshelman, and jumps ahead 1-2.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago he hit 3 homers in a game, took 3 days off, hit 3 more homers in a game, drove in 9, tied a major league record that second time through. You mentioned the home runs in September, 9. The last Brave to hit 10 home runs in the month of September. You got to go all the way back to Chipper Jones back in 1999. He had 10 homers in the month of September.
Duvall hits this one out to left. Playable for Hayes, makes the catch. Markakis bluffs but does not go. 2 outs in the inning. Maryland Lottery's contestants of the game, Cristobal Shepard from College Park and Dawn Haslip from Baltimore, have won $500 for being selected and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play any fast play game at any Maryland Lottery retailer for a chance to win up to $100,000 or more. It was a good night to play last night. The Orioles collecting 4 home runs in the game. We'll see what tonight has in store. 2 outs, man at second for Austin Riley. Eshelman misses outside with a breaking ball, 1-0. Riley was hitless in the game last night for the Braves. They were limited to 1 run on 5 hits. 3 games of great starting pitching as well from the Orioles. Eshelman tries to keep it going tonight. Delivers a strike, and it's 1-1. You got 5 innings of 1-run baseball from Dean Kramer, followed by 6 innings of 1-run baseball from John Means, and last night Jorge Lopez 7 innings of 1-run baseball, and that's something that the Orioles are trying to build off of going to these last couple of weeks of the season. Riley puts this one in the air. Cedric Mullins ranges over, makes the catch, and Nick Markink is stranded in scoring position. 1.5 complete. Middle game, this 3-game set. And Ben McDonald, that was quickly forgotten about.
Yes, it was. It was early and often scored in the first. You mentioned the 9 runs. And how about runners in scoring position? 9 for 17 last night in that Yankee series. Only 20 opportunities. The Orioles were 2 for 20 with runners in scoring position in 4 games against the Yankees. 9 for 17. And Brandon Hyde, the skipper, you're getting to look at. A big sigh of relief last night for him. They hadn't had too many of those kind of games where it's been blowout type games, able to relax a little bit and enjoy the moment. The Orioles in so many one-run games this year. 17 of their games have been one-run games,
which is among the most in the American League. Pedro Severino takes down, 1 ball and no strikes. Orioles had a chance for a run in the bottom of the first, but Iglesias was stranded at third base after Inoa struck out Ryan Mountcastle. Severino, 1 ball and 1 strike. He's hitless in his last 11 at bats. Defensively, maybe not the weekend that he was hoping for in the Bronx either.
He threw the ball better, though. He threw out his first 2 base runners in the Bronx. So, you know, before being 0 for 6, he threw out 2 in 1 game. Brett Gardner tried to steal twice, and he got him both times.
Now the 0 for 11 flushed away. He's got a base hit. And it brings up Renato Nunez. Those fans, it's time for the popular Oriole Park at Camden Yards hot dog race. Ketchup, relish, and mustard are ready to go at home plate. Which one will come out on top? Stay tuned and play along to the full version during the next commercial break. You want to make your pick?
Yeah, I would change things up and go mustard.
Okay. I will go relish.
I don't even like mustard, but I'm going to pick them anyway.
So Rock gets ketchup. Nunez swings through, 0-1. Renato Nunez 1 for 3. A couple of walks for him last night. The Orioles not only got some good pitches to drive, but they were also pretty patient at the plate. Braves pitching with a bunch of walks in the game.
Well, that was something Brandon Hyde talked about during the Yankee series, especially when they faced Jordan Montgomery. Felt like they were chased a little bit too many pitches out of the zone, and even when they had counts in their favors, offered it some very marginal pitches, some balls just kind of on the corner. So it wasn't a patient weekend for the Orioles. Certainly last night, but those walks, and they didn't miss many mistakes at all.
You would talk about great mistake hitters on the Orioles. Renato Nunez at the very top of the list. 1-1 against Inoa. It's this one foul down the line, strike 2. Things are going right for Renato Nunez. Brandon Hyde has said it. He is capitalizing off of mistakes, and when he capitalizes, they tend to go over the fence.
They certainly did last year. 31 times they went over the fence, drove in 90.
Serves this one into right center. Markakis makes the catch, and there's out number 1. Nick Markakis back at Camden Yards. Great career with the Orioles. Now Rio Ruiz, who is a former Brave, now with the O's. 217, 8 home runs. He's driven in 26. A walk last night. Noah misses outside with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. That one is chopped out to second. Albies the shovel for 1. Swanson to first. Double play. So it's a minimum phase, bottom of the second inning for Huáscar Ynoa. We're scoreless going to the third. but defensively, he is becoming one of the best in the American League.
No doubt about that. And he showed it with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Runners on 1st and 3rd. How about this line drive? Covers 51 feet, lays out in just 3.5 seconds. He's making the hard plays that look really easy and some outstanding plays. We've seen this since and talking to Brandon High, we heard him during his Zoom call, said he needs to now be in the conversation for a Gold Glove. That's how elite he has been in the outfield for the Orioles this year. And that was your Xfinity Speed feature. Xfinity is the home for the return of live sports.
Here's a looper out towards the alley in left center. Picked up by Hayes. Throws into second. One hop. Safe. Albies called safe at second base, and Tim Cousins will get on the phone and see if this should be challenged or not.
Well, Albies never checked up. He's thinking double the whole way. Here's the tag. It's a little bit of a swim move. Now, I can't tell if the tag was ever applied. Does the hand stay on right there? Watch this slide. Albies slides way to the inside towards the pitcher's mound, goes around it, touches it right there. What do you think, Doc? Looks like he's safe to me.
It looked like he got around it.
Albies had just come back from injury. He missed a month with that bone bruise. And he has been hot since returning to the Braves.
Well, he went 2 for 3 yesterday. Extends his hitting streak with a double there. The Orioles decide not to take a look at it. A second extra base hit in as many innings for the Braves, and now here comes Acuna. And what can be tough when you face the Braves is the way they have their lineup structured. You have Albies hitting out of the 9 spot, and then you have Acuna right behind. Though, as we have said, Acuna's been a little bit strikeout prone recently.
Well, you got 2 guys, if they get on base, that can really put pressure on opposing defenses. They can make the pitcher speed the game up a little bit, put pressure on the catcher as well.
Good pitch from Eshelman. Front door breaking ball, strike 2. Now this spot in the first inning, Eshelman, he was ahead of Acuna, 0-2. It's a spot where you see if you get a strikeout. It's a tough hitter. This is inside.
That's what you love about Eshelman. Although the fastball is well below big league average, he's still not afraid to pitch inside and in off the plate as well. By doing enough work on the inside part of the plate, that only opens up the outside part for the off-speed pitches for him. We've seen a good changeup so far tonight by Eshelman.
That one is hit sharply foul. And even if you're throwing 87, 86, 88, what have you, you still need to be able to pitch inside effectively to get hitters out.
There's no doubt about that. Big league hitters are too good and they're too smart these days. And if you're not using both sides of the plate, they're going to take advantage of it. They'll scoot their toes up on the plate. If you're only going to pitch away, they'll scoot up, and they'll have some really good swings at some balls that are nice pitches on the outside part. But if you straighten them up, make them move their feet every now and then, show them a fastball inside for a strike, it changes things.
This is inside, 2-2. That's, I think, one of the cooler things about watching Cesar Valdez pitch, is because he will make you a little bit uncomfortable, throw a bunch of changeups, and then he might jam you inside with a fastball.
Well, Keegan Aiken, we've seen from Lopez last night. Dean Kramer.
In the air, out to left center. Mullins takes charge, makes the catch, fires it in, and nowhere for Albies to go. Gear up for the 2021 season and select your seats with a Birdland membership. Place your deposit today and you will automatically receive a 15% bonus credit on your account before the 2021 season starts. But act now. This bonus credit offer expires Monday, November 30th, 2020. Each new Birdland member will receive an exclusive gift, an Oriole Bird Utah Street home run bobblehead. For more information, visit Orioles.com/membership for details. Here's Freddie Freeman. He swings and drives this one to deep right field. Hits off the top of the wall. They sent Albies to the plate, and into second with an RBI double. It is Freddie Freeman. He extends his hitting streak, the on-base streak now at 31, and the Braves with a 1-0 lead.
Well, Freddie Freeman can just hit. It don't matter if it's a left-hander or a right-hander. This is a breaking ball, and not one of the better ones. This one kind of sits in the middle of the plate. Freddie Freeman from the left side just goes down and finds the barrel to straightaway right field. Off the wall, DJ Stewart picks it up and gets it in, but the Braves score the first run of the game. Freddie Freeman now 45 RBIs on the year, 11 home runs, hitting .347. And when you talk about postseason and season awards, he's got to be in the conversation for most valuable player, no doubt about it.
You know, somebody that the Braves were a little bit concerned about at the very start because he tested positive for COVID-19, but he has been one of the best in the National League again. Ozuna pops this up. Ruiz makes the catch for out number 2. 2 away. A couple of doubles in this inning have yielded the Braves their first run of the ball game. Only had one of them last night. Thomas Eshelman will now deal with d'Arnaud, who he struck out in the first. Ozzie Albies, thanks to that little swim move on that slide into second base, is ruled safe, and then Freeman drives him home.
Yeah, a couple of close plays at second base already. Nick Markakis went in standing up. That could have gone either way, but the ball and the glove come off the hand of Hanser Alberto. Then a nice swim move.
Arnaud behind 0-1. That pitch is in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. 45 pitches for Thomas Eshelman so far. Gets an opportunity to make a start today. The Orioles needed a starter because on Friday you had a doubleheader against the Yankees. I think there was maybe some thinking, would you try and bring Keegan Aiken back to start on Tuesday, but instead they're going to have him start tomorrow against Cole Hamels.
Yeah, but another opportunity for Thomas Eshelman, because he's made it quite clear he would rather be a starter. He wants to be in that starting role. He looks at it every chance he gets to start. It's been 3 of them this year, and he's been really good. Another opportunity to show Brandon Hyde that I can be a starter at this level.
This is outside. 3 balls and a strike. I think for him as well, probably a chance, a little bit of a do-over after the last one against the Yankees didn't quite go the way that he was hoping for. Now that was an outing where he found out the day of that Alex Cobb was not going to be able to make the start for the Orioles, and so Eshelman got the call in the morning. Out through the first 2, but has allowed a run in the 3rd. And the inning will stay alive for Swanson.
Almost feels like Eshelman was kind of pitching around d'Arnaud there, who's been swinging it really well to get to Swanson, who's really had a solid year at the beginning, but some struggles as of late. Had first base open in that situation.
Eshelman struck out Swanson to start off the 2nd. And delivers a strike. Former #1 overall pick out of Vanderbilt.
Yeah, he is 0 for 16 his last 16 at bats, as Dansby Swanson. You could almost see what Eshelman was trying to accomplish there.
Why face spot?
Yeah, why face the hot guy if you can face a guy that's had some struggles?
Freeman and d'Arnaud aboard. Freeman with the RBI double. d'Arnaud a 5-pitch walk. Good pitch.
Located perfectly, only at 85 miles an hour, but just dots an eye on the inside corner. See, that ball still got some good life to it. It's got some good down sinking action running into the right-handers away from the left-handers.
On the ground to short. Picked by Iglesias, goes the short way. But the Braves get their first run. Lead at 1-0. Empowerment Series, an ongoing initiative to amplify women. Tonight, the Orioles Director of Baseball Development, Eve Rosenbaum, joined O's Extra to talk about her day-to-day work with the club.
But now that we're past the draft and we're past the trade deadline, it's gotten back to sort of my more normal day-to-day, you could say, where it's a lot of conversations with our analytics team and conversations with our coaches about, hey, what could we do to improve this team? What new page we want on our internal database? What information do we want to see? How could we improve this metric? Where have you noticed that this metric says a player is good, but you actually think the player has been struggling? And how can we kind of change the inputs to that to be a more useful tool for you as a scout or as a coach?
To learn more and to view interviews from the series, go to Orioles.com/empowerment. We got to talk to Eve in spring training this year, and she is unbelievably talented. And what's really cool as well, she's getting to work now for her hometown team.
Yeah. And I love the way she talks baseball, too. She drops bombs. The guys are dropping bombs. I like that. I heard the complete interview. I love her baseball lingo.
Did great work with the Houston Astros and now with the Orioles, and does all kinds of different things, and helping make the Orioles an organization that will be self-sustaining and will be competing in the American League East for years to come. Taking a big step forward this year, 21-26. Still in the hunt for a wild card spot, but obviously no real margin for error. Hayes takes outside for ball one.
Did gain a half game last night, right? A little bit of ground, so just 5 games out now.
Behind the Yankees and the Indians. Hayes chases, 1 ball and 1 strike. Good to see Austin Hayes back in the lineup for the Orioles last night. Brandon Hyde liked it as well. 2 for 4, 2 runs and a walk for Hayes last night, back in left field.
Yeah, Hayes is a difference maker. There's no doubt about that. And to get that bat back in the lineup, it adds a little bit of spark. It adds some defense, some base running ability. And the fact he came back in his first game and had success, right? 2 hits right away takes a lot of pressure off of him. Got off to a little bit of a rough start, but as you mentioned yesterday, felt like he was swinging the bat a little bit better before he got hurt and had to spend the time on the IL.
Did he go? Yes, he did.
Like another one of those breaking balls. Did he go? I believe he did.
Looks like Brendan Miller got that call right. Cedric Mullins will now come up to the plate. 3 strikeouts for Enoa, and 2 of them coming off of that slider.
Well, this is kind of what you heard from Enoa. If he gets it going, he can shut you down. It's kind of no in between for him this year. Either he's been really good or not lasted very long. And so far tonight, through 2 2/3, he's been really good.
One ball and 1 strike.
We've seen the fastball up to 98. When a guy's throwing 98, you got to get your foot down and go, and it makes that slider that Mullins just swung through even that much better. It's a high percentage of strikes so far from Enoa. There's the changeup at 88. So fastball away, breaking ball, then back to the changeup.
The changeup viewed as a pretty good pitch for Enoa, but it's been the slider that he has relied on primarily first time through the order. Mullins fouls it away.
Yeah, talking to some Braves people, he only uses that changeup 10% of the time. They think it's a really plus pitch for him and encouraging him to try to use it a little bit more. Because as you mentioned, he's had some struggles with that slider this year.
Mullins chops this one to first. Freeman just wins the race. 1, 2, 3, bottom of the third inning for Inoa, 1-0 Atlanta. Orioles baseball is brought to you by the redesigned 2020 RAV4, ready for any adventure. Let's go Toyota and let's go places. Jeff Arnold, Ben McDonald, and Rock Kabako with you on a Tuesday night. Camden Yards, a little bit cooler. All of us forgot our jackets. Maybe a move that we want back at this point. Braves with a 1-0 lead. They got doubles from Albies and Freeman in the last inning. Markakis up against Eshelman. And this is evidently low. 1 ball and no strikes. Markakis had a double as well, but he was stranded at second base in the second inning. Eshelman is down, 2 balls and no strikes. What are you seeing from Thomas Eshelman so far?
Well, he's staying down pretty good, which is where he has to live. Made the one mistake on a changeup, kind of left it, or the breaking ball rather, left it up out over the plate to Freddie Freeman, who is as hot as anybody right now. He hits it off the wall for an RBI double, but past that, it's been typical Thomas Eshelman. Normally good control.
Sometimes you can follow the changeup with fastball like that and make it look a little quicker.
And he's a reverse splits guy too. Don't forget that. That's what kind of makes him valuable, the ability to get left-handers out better than right-handers.
Fouled away. In his career, lefties are .240 against Eshelman. Righties .301. Approaching 60 pitches. Ran it back. That's a beauty.
Boy, love that. Down 3-0 to Nick Markakis all the way back in the count. And how about this 3-2 pitch? Severino wants it right on the inside corner. And boy, he dots that eye. You can't do it any better than that right there. You see Markakis knew he was done. He threw the elbow out there trying to get hit. But Eshelman has, you know, that 2-seam fastball. He can kind of backdoor it to the right-handers. He can front door it to the left-hander. He starts that ball off the plate and he just leaks it right back over.
Broken bat. Foul ball. I said Thomas Eshelman grew up watching Greg Maddux, and that was the Greg Maddux special that he delivered that got Markakis. And now Adam Duvall, he needs to go get a new bat.
Yeah, Greg Maddux really mastered that 2-seam fastball, that he could throw it down on the way to the left-handers, but he could also throw it inside, almost on the front hip of a left-hander, and have it come right back over the plate. There was nobody better at doing that than Greg Maddux. And Eshelman's got the same type of pitch, but really the same type of velocity too.
Probably right around 86, 88 miles an hour. We've seen a couple of 88s from Eshelman so far. Duvall swings, hits this one way out. Well, Duvall, that is home run number 10 for him this month. The Braves another extra base hit and a 2-0 lead.
Well, you talk about a no-doubter. And a guy that is so hot at the plate. 10 now in the month of September, 15 overall, 32 RBIs. From a guy last year that was really up and down with the Braves, couldn't stick in the big leagues. That looked like just a changeup that he just kind of left middle, runs a little bit down and in, and boy, Duvall all over that one.
And that's why sometimes throwing that righty inside change can be very dangerous.
Yeah, you're seeing more and more catchers call that pitch. It was a pitch that we never did. We always threw down and away to the right-handers with a changeup, or down and away to the left-handers with a changeup. But it's becoming a popular pitch, and it's a good pitch if it's perfectly placed. But if you make a mistake like he just did, you don't get it where you want it. It normally gets hit really hard.
Orioles have Paul Fry starting at heat up in their bullpen. Longest Eshelman has gone in any outing this year is 5 innings. A check, no swing by Riley, laid off the breaking ball. You mentioned it, 10 home runs for Duvall, and that matches Chipper Jones, who also had 10 as well this month.
Yep.
1 point.
Back in 1999.
Riley wouldn't chase, and now it's a full count. Grounded foul. A 3-2 against Austin Riley. And Ozzie Albies, who doubled his last time, awaiting on deck. Back up the middle, past the dive of Alberto. Riley has got a hit. 1 out base runner for the Braves.
Austin Riley tries to come inside. This ball doesn't quite get all the way inside. Austin Riley is so strong, just kind of inside outs it right back up the middle.
Well, Orioles manager Brandon Hyde coming out. Atlanta has got 6 hits in this game. Got a run in the 3rd. They've already got 1 in this inning. Paul Fry coming in. Braves up 2-0.
Is out of the ball game. It started off really good for him. He punched out Ronald Acuna Jr. to start the game with that really good changeup down and in. Up to d'Arnaud for a punch out. A really good slider on a 3-2 pitch to Dansby Swanson, and then boy gets Nick Markakis on the inside. The Braves touch him for 2 runs, 3 1/3, 6 hits, 2 runs. They both earned. Responsible for the runner at first base. A very good strikeout to walk ratio. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 67 pitches, and 42 strikes. And this pitching change is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube Multi-Care stores do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube Multi-Care inspect your brakes today. And there is Paul Fry. Paul Fry, 17 games, 1-0 record, a very good ERA of 2.5. 17 innings pitched. How about the strikeouts to walk? 22 punch-outs, just 4 walks. Inherited base runners. He's been good in that category as well.
Well, Albies will step in, and Fry starts him off with a strike. Fry has given up runs in back-to-back appearances after he gave up just 1 in his previous 12 games. He was excellent in the month of August. 1 ball and 1 strike against Albies. Fry has got reverse splits this year. He has done better against righties than lefties. Fly ball out to right field. Stewart makes the catch in the corner. There's the 2nd out of the inning. This season we are recognizing some of the Orioles' biggest fans. Today we honor Orange Level members Marcus and Avery Johnson from Glen Burnie. Marcus and Avery have been Birdland members since 2013. Their favorite Birdland memories are feeling like family at the yard and meeting new people. From making friends with fellow fans, ushers, and other Orioles staff. Learn more and become a Birdland member by visiting Orioles.com/membership. It's what you get when you come to an Orioles game. Great community.
Yes, sir.
Severino blocks the slider to Acuna for ball 1. It will be great to have the fans back. Camden Yards all filled up.
I know we were all looking forward to that.
Now, something tells me when we go back down to spring training, it's going to be that feeling of, weren't we just here? It's going to literally feel like we were just there.
Boy, my, how quickly it all changed, huh?
2-0 against Acuna, who's been retired twice. Half swing and a foul ball.
Yeah, Acuna 0 for 3 last night, 0 for 2 so far tonight.
Has some time with wrist inflammation. Have been performing pretty well, but didn't have a great series against the Nationals. Struggled so far against the O's. They asked for an appeal, and they say he didn't swing. And Brandon Hyde is not a happy camper. He is coming out, and this is dangerous territory as he's talking to Brendan Miller.
He's telling him that's 3 calls you've missed.
And Bill Welke is trying to diffuse this situation. You know, a lot of times you could come out, and this is sort of seen as an objectionable offense because it is arguing balls and strikes, but he did get tossed.
Yeah, he got tossed before he even came out of the dugout.
Came out. Okay.
And I think that's why he was so upset. That was a quick toss. It's a very close call. Safe right away, and you can see it. I mean, he throws him out right away.
To Hyde thrown out of the game. That's the first time that Hyde has been ejected all season. Acuna walks, and the inning stays alive for Freeman. Freddie Freeman drove home the first run. Doubled in Albies. In the dirt. Runner takes off and moves up. So Austin Riley able to advance to third base on the wild pitch. Acuna held on.
Paul Fry having a little bit of command issues. It's just a fastball. He's trying to go down the way with it, spikes it in the dirt. Ball kicks too far away. Austin Riley with a good read at second base. Acuna was not able to advance an extra 90 feet. He stays at first base.
A 1-0. 9 pitches from Fry. 6 have been balls. In the air to center. Mullins puts it away. But the Braves get a run on the Duvall home run. Look at your Hyundai do-ups for the Orioles, Iglesias, Stewart, and Mountcastle. See your local Hyundai dealer today, because the longer you look at a new Hyundai, the more there is to like. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by PNC, helping to make banking easier, and by Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast. Orioles find themselves down 2-0. Brandon Hyde ejected in the top half of the inning after arguing a check swing. Brendan Miller throwing him out of the game. It was a very quick hook.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it was so quick, unless there's been some back and forth going on leading up to that.
Iglesias stands in and grounds the first one foul.
Well, the good news for the Orioles is this. You look at Enoa the first time through, he's really good, 205 opponent's batting average, but a second time through the lineup, opponents hitting 538. Teams have been able to make the adjustment off of Enoa. Hopefully the Orioles will do the same.
He has not really pitched that deep into games this year for Atlanta. Travis Lakin Sr. warming up for the Orioles. Last time for Enoa, he went 3 innings. Outing before that went 3 innings. So a little bit of uncharted territory for him here. But he strikes out Jose Iglesias, going back to the slider.
Well, supposedly the slider was the pitch he struggled the most with this year. It's got him in the most trouble. But so far tonight, it's been the difference maker for him. Now, we've seen a really high velocity fastball, but that pitch right there has got some good action down and away. And you talk about a guy who came in hitting over 370. Iglesias doesn't normally strike out looking like that.
He beat Inoa once, but they're down on 3 pitches, 4 strikeouts for Inoa. And now here's DJ Stewart.
Here's DJ Stewart last night. A 3-run shot on a hanging breaking ball. Boy, he melts this one out to right field. 105.5 off the bat. The major league average 103.5, and that was DJ Stewart's 7th home run. 12 RBIs now.
We talked about some adjustments that he had made at the alternate site, but the other thing as well, Brandon Hyde brought this up, is the confidence that he is hitting with. He's built some of that, and it has continued to show at the plate.
Well, like Austin Hayes showed up last night and gets 2 hits right away. DJ Stewart came back for the 2nd time and had success pretty quickly. When you have success quickly, it's like getting off to a good start at the beginning of the year. It allows you to relax a little bit. I think that's been the key for Ryan Mountcastle too, right? I mean, he had success right away when he stepped into a big league uniform, and he's continued to have success.
And then you've got all the great work that is being done at AA Bowie. Matt Blood has got a great staff down there continuing to work to get all the hitters prepared. And the question has been asked quite a bit to players who come up from the alternate site about why they are so well prepared. It's been asked to Stewart, it's been asked to Ryan Mountcastle, and it's because there are, and I think I'm quoting Mountcastle here, there are some dudes down there.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, you're facing big league type arms down in Bowie too, and the coaches are doing a wonderful job down there. Everybody that's come up has had success at the big league level, whether it's been Keegan Aiken, Dean Kramer, position players you mentioned. Cedric Mullins went down for a while. He comes back. Austin Hayes, DJ Stewart.
So the hitters well prepared, and for that matter, the pitchers are becoming better prepared when you face hitters like DJ Stewart that have spent time in the big leagues. Likes of Grayson Rodriguez and DL Hall and a bunch of others who have gotten an opportunity to get some work in with no minor league season in 2020. Stewart smashes this one is center field. Acuna runs it down. So hard hit, but they're 2 away. And Ryan Mountcastle struck out his first time up, stepping to bat against Inoa. Mountcastle playing at first base tonight. First time in the big leagues. Get more time over there as the Orioles try and rotate in all the outfielders that they've got. Just got Austin Hayes back yesterday. You've got Mullins, you've got Stewart. Looks at a strike. Mountcastle, he's missing at a couple of those breaking balls. I think that should be probably your indicator just how good that slider for Inoa has been tonight.
We heard so much about the lack of command with the fastball and the struggles with the slider, but we've not seen that tonight. This is Ryan Mountcastle. Hits on breaking balls this year. 13 base hits, 10 singles, 2 doubles, and a home run. He sprays it to really all the fields, gap to gap. That's what's been impressive about Ryan Mountcastle, a young guy, 23 years old, but so far been able to handle the breaking ball at the big league level, and that's why the average is so high coming into this ball game.
Count about another slider. So Mountcastle has struck out twice. Inoa has completed 4, and Atlanta with a 2-0 lead.
Orioles should have saved some of those 14 runs from last night. Thomas Eshelman could have used a few. Only 3 1/3 innings tonight, 67 pitches. Absolutely, he would love to be starting every 5 days. But what Thomas Eshelman did tonight is exactly why he's here. Not talked as much about the production, but just this role. He is the emergency guy, the spot starter, the swingman, whatever term you want to use. Brandon Hyde really likes that Eshelman doesn't need a lot of notice to work a start like this. You know, an emergency, he can let him know short notice, hey, we need you to start. Eshelman can get ready, and he's been really good at that role up to this point. In a perfect world, he could still be doing that next season, but this club looks at its rotation, and I know they envision, first of all, Alex Cobb, if he isn't traded, of course, he could be a chip when you're left on his contract, but John Means, and they're looking at Keegan Aiken, and they're looking at Dean Kramer, and Jorge Lopez is getting an audition here. They're trying to decide whether he is a starter. They think he could be a piece of the rotation, or is he an Eshelman type, or he's also going to end up being that swing man, long man, spot starter type. And then, of course, you're looking at potentially Bruce Zimmerman, the local kid who would have been up here probably this summer if it had been a normal season. Zach Lowther, Michael Bauman. You're looking at Alex Wells and Cody Sedlock, even though they're not in the 60-player pool, they're still hovering. DL Hall would have been a buoy this year. You can hear him knocking. So they've got these waves of pitchers they think could work their way up. A lot of depth now, pitching depth, and other guys behind them. So Eshelman, they think, probably more suited for what he did tonight. Normally the results are better, but he really does work for them as that guy. Every team needs one of those, that spot starter emergency guy.
And the Orioles have had a couple of those guys this year, and two of them, in Keegan Aiken and Jorge Lopez, found their way into the starting rotation.
Yeah, Eshelman is valuable. You know, throughout his career, he's better numbers as a reliever. There's no doubt about that. But because he can jump in there and spot start for you when you have these doubleheaders, and there's Lakins' numbers on the year, he's been busy. 2-2, making his 18th appearance. Opponents hitting .266 off of Travis Lakins Sr.
A 26-year-old from Ohio. And issues a walk to Ozuna to start things off in the 5th. We talked about Thomas Eshelman as somebody who loves to pitch. And another one of those guys, Travis Lakins Sr., when he comes into the game, he is ready to get after it.
Well, Brandon Hyde said earlier in the Zoom call that he loves Travis Lakins because he said he always wants the ball, never wants a day off.
Nothing in 1 the count. And there is Enoa, starting pitcher for the Braves. He wincing a little bit, maybe a little bit of an issue with his back as he exited the field. So far, he's been tough for the Orioles to figure out tonight. 4 scoreless innings. A couple of pitches so far from Lakins that he has not gotten. That one looked like it was a strike, but instead it's 1-1. Darnell chips this one in a right. Stewart racing in, plays it on a bounce. Got him at second.
Boy, love that play. Ozuna kind of on first base, kind of hung up in between, didn't know if Stewart was going to make the play or not. Stewart comes in, he recognized it quickly on one hop, and watch Iglesias finish it off on the back end, playing like a first baseman, a real stretch, so he gets the foot on the bag. He knows it's going to be close. He sets up like a first baseman. Here comes the ball, stretches out there, and just in time.
One of those balls in kind of no man's land, there's not really much you can do, so sure the Orioles were going to get an out. Towards right center field, Stewart cuts it off. Darno headed towards third base, makes it there. Ansby Swanson with a base hit, sets up men at the corners, and 1 out for the Braves.
Ansby Swanson, not so many hits lately. Got off to a wonderful start, as we mentioned, but he takes the ball on the outside part of the plate and laces to right field, and a good read by Travis d'Arnaud as he ends up at third base, goes first to third, now just 1 out.
That snapped an 0 for 18. Now you've got to deal with Nick Markakis. He's a strikeout victim the last time that he was up. Braves have scored runs in the 3rd and 4th innings to give them this 2-0 lead. The middle game of the 3-game set. Orioles in Atlanta will wrap things up tomorrow. Darren O'Day, former Oriole, he is warming up in their bullpen. Strike call. Nothing in one against Nick Markakis, the best players in Orioles history. Tough one to lay off of. Lakins delivering a good pitch. He went to his curveball there, which he has used against lefties to a good amount of success. He'll get some swings and misses on that pitch.
Yeah, it's two different breaking balls for Lakins, so you'll see that hard cut fastball from time to time, and he'll use the curveball as well. He'll show you an occasional changeup. We've seen his fastball touch into the mid-90s from time to time.
Like in somebody that was a little bit later to mature physically. You kind of heard that with Dean Kramer, and Lakins hit a big growth spurt at the end of high school, and then continued to pick up velocity. He went to Ohio State. He had one outing very early on in his career with the Buckeyes where they asked him, hey, do you know how hard you were throwing? And he said 92, 93. He had hit 98 miles an hour. And his first chance with the Red Sox in the big leagues, and now in his first year with the Orioles. He's done a good job, but trying to work around some traffic with one out and men at the corners.
Well, he's paying a lot of attention to Dansby Swanson over at first base, trying to keep Swanson as close to the bag as he can. Braves don't run a lot, only 20 stolen bases on the year for them because they've got some team speed. The way they've been blowing the ball out of the ballpark, you mentioned it, 83 home runs coming in. That's second best in the National League.
Just got a piece of it. Markakis hasn't fared very well with runners in scoring position, but this is a Braves team that has. They're tied for fourth in the National League in that category.
Well, you need that strikeout right now or a ground ball double play, one or the other.
2-2.
Because the Braves with that 2-run lead, that bullpen is one of the best in baseball. You mentioned Darren O'Day getting heated up now. Looks like he's probably going to be in.
Lakins has gotten 2 ground ball double plays. Two. Got him. So you strike out Markakis. Second time that he has gone down that way.
Well, that is a huge strikeout. A little backdoor cut fastball. Starts on the outside corner and see the spin, and it just kind of leaks right back over the edge. That is huge for Travis Lakins and the Orioles. Now just 1 out away from getting out of a big jam.
Not easy against Duvall. He had a home run his last time up, 15th one on the season. Swanson's at first, Darno at third. Lakins misses inside. Try to front door curveball.
Here's that home run you mentioned. You talk about get a hold of 107 off the bat, 34-degree launch angle, and well back into the seats in left field.
Strike, 1-1. Duvall, he has got 15 home runs. You've got Ozuna, he's got 14. Freeman with 11. Acuna with 11. Power comes all up and down the order for the Braves. A lot of power. Some question marks though about the starting pitching and how that would fare. Braves 28-20 on the year. They're first in the NL East. Their lead dropped down by a game. 2.5 on the Marlins. Popped up. Mountcastle makes the catch, and they strand runners at the corners. So a little bit of traffic for Travis Lakins. 2-0 Atlanta, halfway home. Was picture day for the Orioles, taken out in right field. Of course, the mask on in 2020, socially distanced, and Orioles getting their pictures taken.
And then one with the mask off. Everybody hold your breath. And there's Enoa's line. 4 innings pitched, 2 hits. He was really good. We heard a lot about lack of command, but 0 walks, 5 punch outs. He only threw 49 pitches, 35 of which were strikes. He'll give way to Darren O'Day. Darren O'Day having an outstanding year for the Braves. 15 games, a 3-0 record. How about that ERA? .69. 13 innings pitched, 18 punch outs, 4 walks. Opponents hitting just 146 off the right-hander Darren O'Day.
Acquired from the Orioles in July of 2018, along with Kevin Gausman. Orioles getting a couple of good prospects there. You got Evan Phillips and Bruce Zimmerman, who native of the area, approaching his big league debut.
And as Rock mentioned, would probably be in the big leagues right now in a normal season.
Well, here is Pedro Severino, who collected a single back in the second inning, snapped an 0 for 11 skid. O'Day misses low, 1 ball and no strikes. Atlanta, they were hopeful that Enoa could put a good start together after he had some struggles as a starting pitcher. He does exactly that. Now things are turned over to O'Day in the 5th. A lot of Braves bullpen options. Cole Sulser, he is warming up in the Orioles bullpen. Got in the game last night in the 8th. Pitched a scoreless inning.
Well, the good news for the Orioles is that bullpen's pretty rested for the Orioles, because the last 3 games the starters have worked deep into the ball game.
Fouled at the plate, 1-2. The best outing came from Jorge Lopez last night. 7 innings of 1-run baseball.
Boy, was he good. Especially when you consider you're facing a hot team, a team that's just been wearing it out as of late. The best offense in all of Major League Baseball, and he just stuffed them.
Longest start by an Orioles pitcher this year. Severino fouls it back, stays 1-2. One and 2 as the Orioles face Darren O'Day. Maybe a little bit of surprise that the Braves re-signed him. He dealt with injuries pretty much the second he arrived in Atlanta, but they bring him back on board this year, and he's thrown the ball really well.
Yeah, if you can keep him healthy and you keep him on the field, he is really good. A little bit of deception. You see how he winds up and kind of gets it almost sidearm, sometimes even lower than that. It's a really good breaking ball from down there. It's just something you're not used to seeing as a big league hitter. He can go through the lineup one time. He can give you a little bit of length, multiple innings.
This is outside, and the count is full.
Darren O'Day, 37 years old now.
He will turn 38 in October. Ryan Snitker, Braves manager, watching on. And Severino goes down, and he is frustrated at himself that he chased that pitch.
O'Day just threw him a fastball on the outside part. Comes back with this frisbee. Watch the spin on this from way down under. There's that spin. You see that dot on the backside. It starts just on the outside part, and boy, right at the end, it moves quickly down and away.
Severino down on a strikeout. Brings up Renato Nunez. How do you throw a breaking ball from that low? It seems
it's
like
all about just where your wrist position is. You know, as long as you get your wrist kind of on top and you're able to spin it, you can make it work.
Rolled to first, off Freeman's glove, flips to O'Day, and they still get Nunez.
Freddie Freeman was swung way over towards second base, kind of on the pull side, so he had to go all the way over towards the line, and he bobbled it a little bit. A good job by Darren O'Day paying it off on the back end as a pitcher. You do this in spring training all the time. If your fielder bobbles the ball, going to be a little bit late. You got to get to the bag, watch him plant the foot, and then stretch out like a first baseman. Something you work on almost every day in spring training, and occasionally during the season, you'll have pitchers fielding practice.
Rio Ruiz coming up to the plate. There's a strike. Did you like pitchers fielding practice?
I really did. I enjoyed it because, you know, I always felt like if you could field your position, you could change the game. You could win a game if you were a good fielding pitcher. So we always took it seriously when we did it. And covering first base is one of the hardest things to do at times because you're racing a base runner down the line and you got to kind of find the bag, find the ball all at the same time.
But at the same time, we kind of saw how critical it was in the game on Sunday against the Yankees.
It makes a difference, especially in close ball games.
Ball got flipped to Dylan Tate. Didn't have the bag, kept the inning alive. Torres double, and the Orioles came up short. Ruiz pops this up. Riley is out. Comes in, makes the catch. Orioles go down 1-2-3 and a hair, half of the fifth. Braves with a 2-0 lead.
Matos 85, Jerry Hairston Jr. 47. You may remember him more as a second baseman. Tim Raines Jr. 21, Darnell McDonald 9, and the immortal Val Maheski 3 starts. Those are the 6 guys. Let's get that name right again. Val Majeski. I'm going to go with Majeski.
You know what? Actually, Rock, I had him in the minor leagues, my first ever minor league season, and I think it was Majewski, Val Majewski.
It was Majewski. There you go. Well, I'll give you a bag of chips then for getting that right.
I had to salvage this somehow.
Well, there is Cole Sulser in relief of Travis Lakin, who worked 1 inning, did not allow a run. I'm glad I'm not the only one that butchers the name every now and then.
Rock is going to be hosting trivia in the offseason, so this is kind of his primer for when he gets to do that. Two balls and no strikes. He's always wanted to be a game show host.
Yeah.
So he gets a little opportunity to do trivia question there. I have not stumped you. Rock has stumped us, and then you have stumped me on one trivia question. So I'm not really sure where that puts us, but good one tonight. That's a swing and a deep fly ball in a right field. Stewart roams the track, makes the catch in front of the 318 marker. As the Orioles celebrate the 50th anniversary of the 1970 World Series, you can score exclusive autographed items from Jim Palmer, Boog Powell, Brooks Robinson, and Don Buford through the Orioles online auction. All items are available now at the Orioles online auction. Bidding closes Sunday, September 20th at 10 p.m. Proceeds benefit the Orioles Advocates Charitable Foundation, which is celebrating more than 50 years of giving back to the Birdland community. Bid now and learn more at Orioles.com. Albies swings, hits this one in the air. Mullins tracks another one down. If it is somewhere near him, you better believe he's getting to it. And earlier today, Brandon Hyde talked about just how good he thinks Mullins is as an outfielder.
I can't remember a play where he didn't make. He's made so many great plays, and not only that, but run-saving plays, big plays in big spots. He makes the tough play look easy. There's some of those plays on balls over his head that that he just glides to and catches easy. Those are really difficult plays that a lot of guys don't get to. And yeah, so I knew he was a good defender, and saw him a little bit last year, see him in spring training, but this has opened my eyes to where this is an elite defensive center fielder that should be in the Gold Glove consideration.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen him get a bad read on the ball yet. And some of the plays he's made, the line drives over his head and in front of him are some of the toughest ones you talk to in the outfield, and he's made every one of them and got good reads on all of them.
You got him playing in center. You've got Austin Hayes playing in left, who started the year as the center fielder. And that means a lot of happy pitchers when balls get hit into the outfield.
That is a weapon. You know, if you keep it in the ballpark, it's going to be caught.
Sulser misses down with his splitter, ball 3.
It's the days when this ballpark opened in the early 90s when Brady Anderson was roaming in left and Mike Devereaux was out in center field, and those two guys were as good as anybody. Orsulak was really good over in right field.
Stewart being shifted to right field after he started off playing in left. Ryan Mountcastle is the first baseman tonight, but he has taken some nice strides forward in left field as he continues to get acclimated to that position. Here's one for Hayes. Makes the catch. Cole Sulser retires 8, 9, and 1. Here are your Geico do-ups: Alberto, Hayes, and Mullins. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Tampa Bay taking on Washington. Brandon Lau has extended his hitting streak to 6 games. He gets a single in the 6th. Rays coming in next after the Braves. Boston with a 2-0 lead. Tanner Houck, 5 scoreless innings, 7 strikeouts. And then the Yankees starting to heat up. 16-3 lead against the Toronto Blue Jays. New York looking to extend the winning streak to 6 games.
Well, Darren O'Day is out. He worked 1 perfect inning. He'll give way to Will Smith. Been in 12 games, 2-1 record, a 5.7 ERA. A former closer, saved 34 games just a couple of years ago with the San Francisco Giants. He had 34 of them. That's what the Braves have in the back end of their bullpen. They got 3 guys that can close out games. They can give you some depth as well. They can work multiple innings. And that's why they got the 3rd best bullpen in all of baseball right now.
3rd best bullpen despite being last in the National League and 3rd worst in the big leagues in starter ERA. Now, something to keep in mind about Will Smith is that he has had some problems this year with the long ball. He's given up 9 hits this year, and 6 of them had gone over the fence.
Yeah, it was a pretty good start for him, but his last 6 games, 8.44 ERA, 5 1/3 innings pitched. He's been hit hard his last 6 times out.
It's the reason why he's coming in more around these times in the game as opposed to being in the 8th or 9th innings. Faces Alberto, who crushes left-handed pitching. The numbers for Alberto against lefties. Didn't even get the Orioles offense started. They've been limited to just 2 hits so far. Noah threw 4 scoreless, and then, as Ben said, O'Day threw a scoreless 5th. Alberto serves it to center. Acuna comes in and makes the catch. Orioles baseball in Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Big heart and low fares. Book now at southwest.com. And by Papa John's, proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles. One out in the inning. Austin Hayes coming up to bat. He's a strikeout victim his first time up. He faces Will Smith. Takes a look at strike 1. Pitch is inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Hayes, one of the Bowie boys, as he said earlier today in the Zoom that he had. Apparently, he and a couple of his teammates, Ryan Mountcastle and DJ Stewart and Ryan Mountcastle and Mullins as well. It's the other one I was missing. They were all stretching last night on the lines, and they were like, it's just like back a couple of years ago when we were all playing in Bowie, and now up with the Orioles, contributing and seeing if they can help the Orioles put some wins together over these last couple of weeks.
That's what's really cool. When you come up with a group of guys in the minor league, you become good friends, and everybody makes it to the big leagues and in big time roles, and that's kind of what those guys are doing right now.
Cunha makes another catch, and there's 2 away. Celebrate your growing family or the newest O's fan in your life with a Baby Birds membership presented by MedStar Health. Members receive an Orioles bib and onesie, as well as access to special offers. If your little O's fan was born at Harbor Hospital or Franklin Square Medical Center, you can access your complimentary membership using the code received with your Orioles beanie. Visit Orioles.com/babybirds for more information. Here's another one of those homegrown birds in Cedric Mullins. 0 for 2 in the game tonight. Now he'll switch around to hit from the right against Will Smith. Line foul, strike 2. Now, one of the better development stories for the Orioles this year. Had some troubles last year, was sent down, ended up in Double-A, finished out the minor league season strong. Didn't get off to the best start initially with the Orioles, but has been great since his return.
Hey, he talked about in the offseason, got with a private hitting coach and kind of changed some things up a little bit, like DJ Stewart. When DJ Stewart went over to Bowie and got sent down this year, they kind of straightened him up, worked on his mechanics, got him more upright in his stance. It's paid off, and Cedric Mullins felt like he put a ton of work in this offseason. Had a new hitting coach, really worked his tail off. It didn't show up right away. He was sit down, was able to relax a little bit, get some reps on him, and when he came back up, he made a difference, and he is still doing it.
Chases a pitch in the dirt. Darno knocks it down and completes the strikeout. So the Orioles, they have not gotten any hits since the 2nd inning. Will move to the 7th. Atlanta with a 2-0 advantage. Save PNC will recognize a frontline healthcare worker from a University of Maryland Medical System hospital by donating a custom Orioles jersey and gift bag to that healthcare hero. It's a 2-0 Braves lead as we start the 7th inning. Orioles have been set down 14 in a row. No base runners since Severino's single back in the 2nd. Freddie Freeman will open up the inning against Cole Sulser, who pitched a scoreless 6th. It's fouled away, 0-1. Freeman with an RBI double back in the 3rd inning. Braves then got a run in the 4th on a solo shot by Duvall, and that accounts for all the runs tonight.
Well, the good news is the Oriole relievers have done a nice job at this point, keeping the score right where it is. And it almost feels like it's a lot worse than 2-0. That's all it is. Paul Fry, Lakins, and now Sulser out for his 2nd inning of work. All put up zeros to this point.
Freeman strokes this one to the left center alley. Hayes has got it. Freeman digging for 2nd. Throw comes in. Too far. Gotcha.
Well, the Braves have been aggressive on the base pass. Some balls hitting the outfield that are marginal doubles, and we've seen all 3 of them. 2 of 3 have paid off, but not this one. Freddie Freeman can hit. Laces this ball out to left center field. Halston Hayes gets to it quickly and throws a dart, but watch Iglesias stay with it. Might have missed him right there, but realizes at that point that Freddie Freeman coming in a little bit too hot in the 2nd base, and Iglesias stays with the tag and gets him the 2nd time right there.
Yeah, Iglesias is waiting. Is like, come on. Strike 1 into Marcell Ozuna. Austin Hayes, great arm in the outfield.
Yeah, and the speed to go get it too. Quickly got to it, and a really good arm. Accurate as well.
1 ball, 1 strike. He's in left field, but he could probably play just about any outfield position.
Oh, no doubt, because he's got a right fielder's arm. I mean, it's an above average throwing arm. You know about the speed.
Braves have got Martin warming up. It's the right-hander Chris Martin, who see him in the 7th and 8th innings, and then Asher Wojciechowski starting to heat things up for the Orioles. One ball and 2 strikes against Marcell Ozuna. Braves lost Josh Donaldson in the offseason. That was a tough blow for them. They signed Ozuna, who's coming off a down year with the Cardinals last season and has turned things around in 2020. A nice contributor to their lineup. Sulser got Ozuna to chase, and it was off the splitter.
You talk about a really good splitter too. Watch this downward action on this ball. Down and away. It almost looks like a 2-seam fastball, but it's a little bit slower, and the bottom just falls out of it. Ozuna way out in front of this one. That's the pitch that was so good for Cole Sulser early in the year when he was closing, especially against left-handers, but it's good enough he'll use it to both the right-handers and the left-handers.
Outside for ball 1. Sulser attacking the strike zone 2. He got a quick 6th inning. He's got 2 away here in the 7th. That one is through. That pitch a little bit up, and it means that d'Arnaud reaches for the 3rd time tonight.
Yeah, the only thing that's really got Sulser in trouble as of late is lack of command, right? I mean, when he first started the year in that closer role, the control was really good, the command of his pitches. And the walks began to happen, and pitching constantly behind in the count. His role has changed. Brandon Hyde hoped to get him in some lower leverage type situations here the last couple of weeks, and if his stuff ticks back up to where it was, potentially put him back towards the back end of the bullpen.
It is kind of an unusual delivery, and that's the one thing about it for Sulser is it doesn't seem like, you know, it might be as easy to maintain as some other ones.
Well, throwing the ball where you want to throw it consistently is because your mechanics, and you can duplicate those mechanics every time, and all pitchers struggle from time to time with mechanics. But the idea is to be able to feel what you're doing wrong and be able to correct it yourself. Is my front shoulder flying out? Am I leaking a little bit too quickly towards home plate? Do I need to stay back a tick longer? And those are things you hope over your career you begin to learn your body, and you can feel, instead of the pitching coach coming out and having to tell you, you can actually correct it yourself.
Isn't that kind of one of the rites of passage when you get to the major leagues, is you have the ability to do that?
You hope so. I mean, I think a lot of guys are getting to the big leagues now that aren't quite ready to be in the big leagues. Me and you were talking about the conversation before the game about hit batters this year. Hit batters are way up again this year, and it's ticked up the last 3 or 4 years. And it's not because pitchers are pitching inside more. It's because you got some guys in the big leagues that really shouldn't be in the big leagues right now and just can't command their stuff. But because of injuries, and so many injuries have happened this year, the pitchers across Major League Baseball, you're seeing some guys getting elevated that skipped over maybe AAA, skipped over some levels to get to the big leagues, and sometimes the stuff's just not where you want it.
I mean, you've seen a number of starters from opposing teams, especially guys that have been in AA and have had very limited AA time. You're seeing in terms of starting pitchers the length of starts. I mean, we saw it on a graphic recently how the average starter's length was 4 2/3 innings, and we both looked at it, kind of gave a double take. Mountcastle handles it, steps on the bag. Orioles see if they can get some runs. Iglesias, Stewart, Mountcastle, your M&T Bank do-ups, brought to you by M&T Bank, understanding what's important. Join us tomorrow. Orioles and Braves wrap up this 3-game set. Cole Hamels takes the mound against Keegan Aiken. Coverage on MASN begins at 7 with those extra presented by PNC Bank, followed by game coverage at 7:30. We got all the access you need right here on MASN.
Got a new pitcher in relief of Will Smith, who worked one perfect inning. It's Chris Martin, been in 14 games. How about that ERA? .64. 1 for 1 in save opportunities, 17 punch-outs, only 1 walk. In 14 innings pitched, opponents hitting .087 off the right-hander Chris Martin.
He's somebody that can pitch in the 7th inning. He can pitch in the 8th inning. The Braves have quite a few options when they've got a lead and they go late in games. Martin coming off his finest professional season a year ago. 65 strikeouts to only 5 walks. He split the year between the Braves and the Texas Rangers. They'll bring him on with a bunch of right-handers coming up. You've got DJ Stewart, a lefty who follows Iglesias. Orioles have been set down 14 in a row, as it's been Inoa, O'Day, Smith, and now Martin.
Yeah, Martin's a cool story. He was in pro ball and his shoulder started bothering him. He just kind of walked away from it. Just gave up baseball. He started working in a warehouse back at home, and one day his buddy was working with him and brought a ball and a glove to the warehouse on lunch break. They started playing catch, and Martin played catch that day. His buddy talked him into it, and he just knew the next day he'd wake up and his arm and shoulder would be killing him, but it didn't hurt. So they started playing catch in the warehouse, and Martin decides to get back into baseball. Goes the independent route. Plays a year or two independent ball. The Yankees gave him a minor league contract, and he found his way, as you mentioned, an outstanding year and back in the big leagues with the Braves. Just because of a buddy wanted to play catch in the warehouse.
Also had a stint in Japan as well. Sometimes you got to step away from it for a little while. There have been some of those stories recently where pitcher leaves, maybe tries to do something else, gets back into baseball, and well, here he is. That is a shot in the right. Hard contact from Jose Iglesias gives the Orioles their first hit since Severino's base knock back in the 2nd.
And only the 2nd leadoff batter of the game to get on for the Orioles. And Jose Iglesias continues to hit the baseball. Last night, an outstanding night. This is a slider that kind of sits up just a little bit, but that's Jose Iglesias right there in a nutshell. The ability to drive the ball the other way and find the barrel again. 2 base hits tonight. 103 off the bat. And a good start for the Orioles here in the bottom of the 7th.
Saw last night how Iglesias, the exit velocity for him is up a lot more this year. Almost 13%.
That's just because, and it was a career year for him from a power standpoint last year with the Reds. I mean, career high in home runs, a career high in RBIs, but this year it's been better as far as barreling a ball up, and that's why the exit velocity is better. It began way back in spring training. It continued in summer camp, and even when the season began.
Cued out in front of the mound. Martin plays the spin and picks up the out, advances Iglesias to 2nd. Download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and much more. One out, man at second base, and up steps Ryan Mountcastle. A couple of strikeouts for him tonight. Oscar Inoa was very tough making the start for the Braves.
And he got Mountcastle both times with breaking balls, which we've shown that's been the pitch he's been able to handle the best at the big league level so far, is the breaking ball. But Inoa's breaking ball was really good. Double barrel action in that Oriole bullpen. Hunter Harvey getting heated up. Wojciechowski's been up for a bit longer.
That is the best bullpen hair you will ever see.
That's a whole lot of hair.
Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. My level of follicle jealousy is through the roof right now.
1 ball and 1 strike against Mountcastle. Iglesias down at second base. Goes through a breaking ball. 1-2. Orioles are 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position tonight. Last night they were excellent, 9 for 17.
Well, Mountcastle's been really good this year. 421 runners in scoring position.
That was one that Martin might have gotten away with.
That was the one Mountcastle wanted to hit, because that was certainly a mistake pitch there. Ahead to count 1 ball and 2 strikes. He wanted to start that ball more on the outside part of the plate and have it go off, but instead it starts well on the inside part. That's a pitch Mountcastle has not been missing a whole lot since putting a big league uniform on.
Spoils it foul. Keeps the count in place. You've seen some good breaking balls tonight from Inoa and then Darren O'Day, because he's going to come at you from that submarine arm slot, and then Will Smith right after that. He's got a good breaking ball too. Do different things. They're thrown from different angles. Mountcastle swings, hits this one in the air to right. Here comes Markakis, makes the catch. The second out of the inning. You've got Iglesias still down at second base. Pedro Severino has got one of the Orioles' hits. We'll see if he can either drive in a run or keep it going. Severino see if he can get the batting average back over the 300 mark. Came into today with it below 300 for the first time since August the 7th. He has had some late game heroics this year.
Yes, he has. A lot of his hits and big hits have come in the latter parts of ball games.
And a walk-off earlier this year. And a number of other big hits in there as well. Orioles looking for an offensive spark after last night. They scored a season best 14 runs. Takes a breaking ball low, ball 2. Two and 0 with 2 outs. Iglesias not held on at second base. Strike 1.
The good news is the Orioles just one swing away from tying this thing up. There's Freddie Gonzalez. Remember, Brandon Hyde was ejected in the early part of this ball game.
Target a check swing call, and he was thrown out pretty much immediately. Strike 2. Still, you're in capable hands. Freddie Gonzalez, Tim Cousins, good baseball men. Certainly have done a tremendous job. Deuce is wild against Severino. Nunez next. Off the outside corner. Good take.
Well, if you know Brandon Hyde at all, he's probably not up in the coaching office. If you know him at all, he's sitting just down in the tunnel, just out of view from everybody. Still very involved in the ball game, I'm sure.
Doesn't pretty much every manager do that?
Yes.
When it.
Not many go back up to the coach. Most of them sit right down in the tunnel where they can't be seen, but heard from the right people.
3-2.
Severino hits this one down the line, and it will be fouled.
There's Renato Nunez. He'd love an opportunity here.
Well, between him and Severino, you've got 16 home runs. One would tie up the ball game. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Martin right around 20 pitches in this inning. Lacey is singled, moved up on a ground out. Mountcastle flied out. Now it's 3-2 against Severino. Out to right field. Markakis makes the play, and the Orioles strand another man in scoring position. We're headed to the 8th. 2-0 Atlanta.
Everything looking grand. Got me feeling like the man. I never let this moment out my hand. Got me feeling like the man. Like the man. 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 Feeling like the man.
Orioles and Braves on a cool Tuesday night in Baltimore. Jeff Arnold, Ben McDonald, and Rock Kubatko with you. Braves with single runs in the 3rd and 4th innings. And the Orioles not able to get anything done with Iglesias at second. The pitcher for the O's, Asher Wojciechowski.
Wojciechowski on the year. 9 appearances, 7 starts, 1-3 record, 35 innings pitched, 41 hits, and he'll try to do what Paul Fry and Travis Lakins and Cole Sulser have done. That's hang zeros on the scoreboard. The bullpen for the Orioles have been outstanding. 4 2/3 of shutout baseball to this point.
Wojciechowski will start off against Markakis, who has doubled and twice struck out. This is high with a cutter. 1 ball and no strikes. He's got the slider, he's got the cutter, he's got the changeup. Started the year in the rotation. Fastball strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's Shane Green for the Braves. Down and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Wojciechowski, he gave up 6 runs in relief last Friday against the Yankees in Game 2. He gave up 2 different 3-run homers to Voit. At times has been a little bit home run prone this year. Markakis shoots this one high up there. In comes Ruiz, makes the catch. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. 1 out. Adam Duvall stepping to the plate. He has one of the 2 Braves runs. Home run in the 4th. Orioles find themselves locked in another tight ball game.
They have played a ton of them this year. You mentioned it more than anybody. 17 of those games have been 1-run games for the Orioles. There's one of those good breaking balls by Wojciechowski. This feels like Wojo just hadn't been as consistent this year. You know, he's been behind in the count a little bit too much. The breaking stuff has not been as consistent as it was last year. And for whatever reason, the velo seems, the velocity just down maybe just a tick from last year.
Sends that one to shallow center. Coming in to cut it off, Stewart makes the play. So they're 2 gone in the inning. Riley coming up next. And then when he was starting to, the other problem that he was having was that he would have one really long inning at the start of his outings. And you know, he battled a lot of the times. I mean, I don't think you can really question that with Wojciechowski.
Oh,
you
no.
know, he really competes when he's out there.
There was no giving up in him at all. But you're right. It was because a lot of times it was ball 1, ball 2. He'd battle back in counts. You get a couple of foul balls. You turn around, you throw him 25, 30 pitches in an inning, and it gets you out of the ball game quick.
When you come in out of the bullpen, you pretty much have to come in throwing strikes right out of the gate. Behind Riley, 2 balls and no strikes. Orioles go into the shift. Iglesias in the middle.
And Austin Riley's one of those guys you do not like to fall behind. Sits way back in the back of this Braves lineup, but he can turn them around.
Chases a fastball there and misses. There, they got off to an incredible start last year. Shoots this one out to shallow right. Mountcastle out. Stewart sprinting in. Falls in between the two. Now Mountcastle was there. Stewart was racing in from right. And it split the difference. And it means a single for Austin Riley.
Well, this is DJ Stewart's ball all day long and twice on Sunday. I mean, he gets there in plenty enough time. You see DJ Stewart starts looking for Mountcastle, and that can never happen. It's got to be, I got it, you take it. And it's okay for Mountcastle to call the ball, but DJ Stewart is coming in. It's a much easier play for him. And as soon as DJ Stewart checked up and started looking at Mountcastle, you knew something bad was going to happen.
I mean, that's a ball that the right fielder, he's got the priority, right? I mean,
absolutely.
He comes in.
And it's an easier play because, like you said, he is coming in. Mountcastle is going out, kind of looking over his shoulder. And you want your infielder to call the ball, and it's his job to go catch it until the outfielder calls him off, and that clearly never happened.
So now what you have to hope for is that that does not come back to hurt you, because that 9 spot in this Braves lineup is not a gimme with Albies hitting out of that spot. Pitch is high, 2 balls and a strike. So that play, you're just kind of hopeful it doesn't come back to haunt you. Albies has been swinging it very well. He missed 30 games with a wrist issue that he was dealing with and has looked strong since coming back. Ojo jammed him. Makes a good pitch and gets a 3rd out. Riley is stranded at first base, middle of the 8th. Braves still with a 2-0 lead. Miller Lite moment.
Well, here it is. Cole Sursa down and away to Freddie Freeman, who laces the ball out in left center field. But watch Austin Hayes get to this ball quickly. Squares the shoulder and fires a dart at 85.7 miles per hour. And Jose Iglesias pays it off on the back end as he sticks with the tag. Freddie Freeman slides right off the bag, and Iglesias has got him right there. Here's Shane Green. 22 games. How about that ERA? 1.19, 22 2/3, only 14 hits. 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. This Brave bullpen has been pitch for pitch with the Oriole bullpen. Nothing but zeros from both of these bullpens so far. Opponents hitting just 184 off the right-hander Shane Green.
4 2/3 of scoreless baseball from the Orioles. Had O'Day, Smith, Martin, and now Green coming into the game. Ender Inciarte is playing in center field for the Braves. And then Ronald Acuna Jr. has shifted from center to right. Inciarte, somebody that's won some Gold Gloves, so we've got those 2, and then Adam Duvall playing in left field. So here is Renato Nunez. 0 for 2 in the game. Green misses outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Martin worked a scoreless inning. Ever since Inoa came out, just been inning by inning for the Braves, which is what they can do with their bullpen. They've got a lead. Cesar Valdez, he is heating up for the Orioles. One ball and one strike against Renato Nunez. Green misses down. 2 balls and a strike as his slider was a little bit low. Orioles had a chance with a man in scoring position in the last inning. That were not able to get Iglesias home. 2-1. Pitch is down. Good eye by Nunez to lay off. Three and one. Green is good at keeping pitches in that spot. Hitters have not made a lot of hard contact against him this year. Nunez skies this one to right. Freeman out of room.
Yeah, Shane Green, a real good sinking fastball with some good movement to it. Loves to stay down with that pitch.
It served him well. He's spent time with the Yankees, the Tigers, and now the Braves. One member of the Tigers who was an all-star for them last year came to the Braves, did not get off to a great start, finished out the year strong, and has done a solid job for Atlanta this year. Cued right side. Freeman with the flip for Green. Well, there's one away. Rio Ruiz coming up to the plate. Ruiz is hitting to a double play, and he's also popped out. 2-10-0 for Atlanta, 0-3-0 for the Orioles. In the middle game of 3. Braves runs came early. Strike called over the outside corner. Ruiz comes up empty on the change. 0-2. That one he lays off.
So a good sinking fastball by Green. He pays it off with a change up, the circle change. He turns over, runs it down and away. Both similar pitches as far as the action of them, but the mile-per-hour difference, 7 or 8.
Those are probably 2 pitches. If you can play them off of each other, that's pretty deadly.
Really. I'm sure he has a breaking ball too that he'll get going the other way, because both those pitches kind of go the same way, down and away from left-handers, down into right-handers. There it is, a little cut fastball, hard slider. That's what he has that goes into the left-handers.
He's got the cutter. It's in the upper 80s, and he's got that slider, changeup, and will throw the sinker about 40% of the time. At the knees, strike 3. Back to the cutter.
So fastball going down and away, changeup going down and away, and then there's that hard breaking ball, the cut fastball. Sits it on the outside corner and watch it. I think Ruiz saw this pitch pretty good, but he had it down and didn't offer it. The ball right at the bottom of the zone.
Seems like Ryan Addison has been pretty stingy with the bottom part of the strike zone in this game.
We've not seen many balls called down there for strikes.
Two outs for Alberto. Back in the lineup today. Got a full off day yesterday, and the Orioles 14-1 win
Still wanted to be in there, though. Ran high, like he was pacing around in front of me the whole time.
Just trying to get Skipper's attention, see if he can get in the ball game, but it was his off day yesterday.
Freeman makes the catch, and this Braves bullpen has been as advertised. Going to the ninth at Camden Yards. Atlanta on top. Following message brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Big heart and low fares. Book now at southwest.com. Well, tough night for the Orioles offense. 20 of the last 21 have been set down following a night where the Orioles scored 14 runs. Be the top of the order for the Braves coming up in this inning against Asher Wojciechowski. Pitched a scoreless 8th. We'll try and keep this a 2-0 game. Orioles have 9-1-2 scheduled to bat in the bottom half of the 9th inning.
Well, up to Wojo right now to put another 0 on the scoreboard. He looked good in the 8th inning. And this Oriole pitching staff has been really good as of late. They have totally shut down at this point the best offense in all of Major League Baseball. Only allowed 1 run last night. The Braves scored 2 only tonight so far.
Such a baseball thing, isn't it? You got 14 runs last night after you'd been held in the previous 4 games to 3, and tonight not been able to get it started against the Braves pitching.
Yeah, it's just baseball. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It's very unusual. We talked about it in the open. Orioles had just 21 base runners in 4 games against the Yankees, but yet they had 24 base runners last night in 1 game against the Braves. So you thought that the offense was about to start clicking, and these Braves pitchers have been just too good. Now, you knew when you got in the bullpen, you got to their real dudes, and the dudes have showed up tonight. But still, you were facing a starting pitcher in Inoa, who came in with an ERA of 6.75, had 12 walks and just 14 2/3 innings pitched, but yet doesn't walk 1 batter against the Orioles tonight.
Number 36, Mark Melanson,
3-2. Now, 7th pitch on the way to Acuna. There is Freeman, who has driven in 1 tonight. Extended his on-base streak to 31. Pitch is ruled high, ball 4.
Well, that could have been a strike. Looked like it got inside the box in the upper quadrant of the strike zone. Was not called. There's Mark Melanson getting heated up. He is the closer for the Braves. Got the iPad out, going over potential hitters.
Has been one of the most reliable closers in baseball. I mean, they got Will Smith, but they still told Smith after they gave him a big contract, Melanson is sticking as our closer for now. So the Orioles will have their work cut out for them. Wojciechowski will have the same thing here against Freddie Freeman. Did make a really good pitch to Albies, though, to retire him on a cutter. That got him out of the 8th inning. I mean, is there really a good way to pitch to Freddie Freeman?
I haven't seen one. I mean, but I tell you what he does do really well. He's got a good inside out swing. He really stays on the ball in the outside part. So I like the fastball in to finish him. He seems to be a really good off-speed hitter as well. But I don't think you can stay there, because for a big guy, he's got a nice short stroke. You just got to make, he's one of those guys you got to make quality pitches to. If you make a mistake, he's going to barrel it up, and he has the entire year, and even last year too. I mean, he hit 295 last year, 38 homers, 121 RBIs.
Fouls it back, 1-1. He's at 349 right now after his 2 hits today.
He's kind of the leader of this team. Been around, drafted by the Braves in his 11th year with the Braves.
Throw over again to check on Acuna.
In spite of the fact that he has been with the Braves for so long, still only 31 years old. Ropes this one out to the alley. Mullins cuts it off, relays it in. They're sending Acuna around. Throw to the plate by Alberto. Safe. And Freeman takes third. Acuna all the way around from first base gives the Braves an insurance run in the ninth.
Well, Acuna can run as good as anybody in baseball. They say if he wanted to, he could steal 30 or 40 bags a year. He chooses not to. This ball gets out in the right center field gap. Acuna reads it right there, and he is wide open around second base. Mullins does everything he can do. There's a cutoff throw, and it comes in, but Acuna just too fast as he goes first to third. And there's not many guys in baseball that can score on a ball like that from first base, but that man can.
It was a good relay. Call it a double and an RBI for Freeman. Got to third on the throw. Osuna takes down. Orioles have got the infield in. It's Freeman, his second double of the game. He's driven in a pair now. Line drive into left. Braves take a 4-0 lead. Marcell Ozuna with his second hit. Now the inning started off with that leadoff walk to Acuna. Double by Freeman brought in one. Ozuna's single brings in a second.
Well, it's an elite offense for sure. They just don't miss pitches like that. Fastballs that are up, out, over the plate. They tend to find the barrel. And Ozuna does that. Drives in his 44th run of the year. So Ozuna's got 44 RBIs on the year. Freeman's got 46. They've only played in what, 49th game now. That's pretty good production.
That is tremendous production. And for Ozuna now 21 driven in this month. 7 ribbies in his last 5 games. Fouled off of Severino. He's down to the count, 0-2. Can't sleep on d'Arnaud either. 4 trips to the plate tonight. He has reached 3 times, 2 singles and a walk.
No, there's not a whole lot of weak spots in this offense. That's why when you face an offense like this, you better have your A game. Certainly Jorge Lopez last night for the Orioles had his A game. He worked 7 innings of just giving up 1 run.
Keegan Aiken knows he'll need to bring his tomorrow too.
That's going to be a fun matchup. Now, the Braves hit right-handed pitching very well. Left-handed pitching not so much, so it certainly favors Aiken.
That one is hit through. Ozuna turning towards third. He makes it there. 4 straight have reached for the Braves to begin the 9th inning. They set up men at the corners for Dansby Swanson.
There's that 4-seam fastball, but again, the location of it kind of center cut. Travis d'Arnaud's having a career year at the plate, just laces this one out to right center field. There's Ozuna, goes from first to third. So still nobody out here in the top of the 9th.
The Orioles also had the shift on, so ensured that d'Arnaud was going to get a base hit. 1 ball to no strikes. Swanson has been retired 3 times. He's got 1 single in there. Cuts through a cutter. 1 ball, 1 strike. Orioles have got their infield in. The Braves have already created some separation. 2 runs home in this inning. Double from Freeman, single from Ozuna. This time Swanson lays off. Tyler Matzik is joining Melanson as well. Good breaking ball. Two balls and two strikes. Orioles do have one more trip to the plate. Also got to remember the Braves, they have lost 6 straight games at Oriole Park. It has been a while, so to see if the Orioles have some magic in the bottom of the 9th as Swanson hits one out to Hayes, makes the catch. Ozuna tags from third, throw all the way through, but Ozuna's safe. 5-0 Atlanta. A hard hit sacrifice fly from Dansby Swanson.
I thought for a second Ozuna might have left a tick early, but on the replay here, there's a replay. Just a line drive out to left field. Hayes gets behind it the best he could, threw a dart home, but Ozuna there in plenty enough time. Let's see, he probably stayed on the bag long enough. Yep, it was close, but he's there.
Second the ball hits your glove, that's when the runner's allowed to go. Here's Inciarte. Takes a strike. Inciarte came on as a defensive replacement. They shifted Acuna into right. Foul back, strike 2. Inciarte has had a down season. Defensively also has not performed as well as he typically does, but has been highly regarded for the way he plays the outfield. Breaking ball in the dirt. Carson Fulmer warming up in the Orioles bullpen. Came on last night for the Orioles, pitched the last inning. Braves, this was a 2-0 lead for them, but they scored 3 times in this inning. Mountcastle over near the steps. Can't make the play. Didn't have quite enough room.
His arms just wasn't quite long enough because he did everything he could. He got all the way over to the edge, and watch this stretch. Stretches out up against the rail and leans out, but just not long enough.
He gave a first baseman's mitt that was just a little bit longer.
He needs the extra long one.
On the ground to first, knocked down. The step on first, throw to second, safe.
Well, that was a solid play by Mountcastle. Getting his first big league start over at first base. Quickly steps on the bag, throws it over to second base. It bounces one time, and Iglesias applies the tag.
What you'd have to do in that spot anyways, because you remove the force. You got Darno at second now. Duvall's 7th man to hit in this inning for Atlanta. Ball 1. Now they like Mountcastle at first base. They want to give him some reps over there. He came up as an infielder. He's been getting some work in and doing a whole bunch of things, and I don't think the transition is going to be as tough going from the outfield back towards the infield, just because he's got a lot of time in the dirt.
Yeah, it's a position, though, but everybody thinks first base is an easy position to play. It is not an easy position to be a really good defensive first baseman. The bunt plays, the cutoffs, the relays, fielding your position.
When to stride, that's another big part of it too. Picking balls in the dirt.
There's a lot that goes into it. But obviously you become more valuable the more positions you can play, and it's nice to put Mountcastle at first base occasionally. You get 2 or 3 of your outfielders really swinging it well, and you got to have them in the lineup. It's nice to be able to put him over at first base. You can use him at DH.
All right, Mountcastle earlier today, he was getting a little bit of work in at first base. When his early work.
There's a stretch you're talking about, working on ground balls. Jose Flores was out working with him. There he is, hitting him ground balls from second base, working on pick, talking about his footwork and how to adjust his feet. Just kind of really a refresher course in him, because he's not taking any ground balls at first base since coming up here. And my bet would be at the alternate side in Bowie, he took most of his reps. That's what we kept hearing, how he was getting better in left field. They was really working on him, so he probably hadn't had a whole lot of reps, maybe since spring training over at first base.
Popped up by Duvall. Alberto there. And the Orioles, they'll need to score 5 to keep it going. Big inning for Atlanta. They plate 3 runs. Presented by WB Mason. Following the game, who but WB Mason for personal protective equipment and more. Brett and Bordy will have you covered. Orioles need to score 5 runs to keep it going. The Braves scored 3 times in their half of the 9th inning. And even though this isn't a save try, Mark Melanson coming in.
Yeah, 18 games work, 2-1 record. He is 10 for 11 in save opportunities. 17 2/3 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 5 walks. Opponents hitting .210 off the right-hander Mark Melanson.
And Melanson, the guy that you've been seeing at the end of games. Came to the Braves last year, started the season with the Giants. Has been good in tight ball games, but his offense gave him a little bit of breathing room. He will look at 9-1-2 in the Orioles order. Freddie Gonzalez, Tim Cousins down there. Brandon Hyde ejected earlier on in the game. Braves, they got runs in the 3rd and 4th. 9th inning was the big one, and then the bullpen for them has been very good. Shane Green turned in a scoreless inning. Before that, Chris Martin, Will Smith, and Darren O'Day all did the same. So Hayes first. And he looks at a pitch over the outside corner for strike 1. Hayes has struck out and he's flied out tonight. Chops this foul, 0-2.
Well, it's hardly ever anything straight from Melanson. He only throws a 4-seam fastball about 2% of the time, so he'll use that cut fastball 52% of the time. That curveball that he just threw to Austin Hayes and a split finger fastball to go along with it, but mostly cutter curveball. And that's why he doesn't have a ton of strikeouts. He's not a big power guy.
He tries the curveball and skipped it in.
There's that spin. It's a knuckle curve. You saw the knuckle up, spins it straight forward. A nice block by Darno right off the chest.
The 1-2. Hayes not able to check. He goes back to that knuckle curve and starts his night with a strikeout.
Okay, so he gets ahead with the cut fastball, then all curve balls from there. This is a good one. Starts it right at the top of the zone. And how about the depth on that one? Almost straight down at 82 miles an hour.
He faces Cedric Mullins, 0 for 3 tonight. Starts him off with a cutter, 0-1. Orioles has not a whole lot of opportunities tonight. They had Iglesias at third base in the first inning. He was stranded there. Iglesias then got to second in the 7th and was left aboard. Been a different tune than it was a night ago. Braves took the lead, went to the bullpen, find themselves up 5-0. Mullins fouls it off his leg, 1-2.
Oh, that's Melanson right there. He can throw that cut fastball just about in any count. He'll run it inside to the left-handers, down and away from the right-handers. This is his fastball. It's got that cut to it. You can see that sideways spin as it just bores down and in on Cedric Mullins, and that hurts. A full swing right off the shin. You're right. What, the last 23 batters for the Orioles, only 1 base hit mixed in there.
It's been a good night for Iglesias at the plate, but that's been it. Melanson really wide as he sets up. This is with a cutter this time, 2-2. I mean, his feet on the mound are more than shoulder width apart.
Yeah, he is wide. Looks like he likes to run in place while he's doing it too. It's kind of his rhythm. As he begins to get going, he'll come closer together.
Mullins hits this one into the corner. He'll head to second. Acuna's throw is well late. Double for Cedric Mullins, and the Orioles have got an extra base hit with 1 out in the 9th.
Looked like Cedric Mullins made the adjustment to that cut fastball, getting in on him off the bat at right at 100 miles an hour. There's that cutter again. This one just kind of stays right on the inner third. Cedric Mullins pulls the hands in and gets the barrel right to this one down the line. You knew Mullins had at least a double, depending on how quickly Acuna got it in. And
sends up Iglesias. He has a double earlier and then singled in the 7th. Strike 1. Iglesias has driven in 19 on the year. Iglesias requests time. Iglesias wants time again. Three times he requests time. If somebody's going to dictate the tempo of this at bat, it's going to be Iglesias.
Well, he's given Melanson all the time to throw the ball, but I don't know what's going on with Melanson. He has taken a ton of time once he comes set to deliver the ball to home plate.
That pitch misses. Last night, Iglesias got his first home run of the year.
Yeah, this is how the Orioles paid off. That 9-run third inning. It was a third home run of the inning for the Orioles off the bat at 106.7. It was Iglesias' first home run of the year, a 3-run shot.
Did he check? No, he did not, but Mullins moves up with a wild pitch. Spiked that one in, kicked away from d'Arnaud.
Yeah, the knuckle curve, and Iglesias offers right there, and it's off the plate, and d'Arnaud could not keep this one. close enough to home plate. Cedric Mullins takes an extra 90 feet. 1 ball, 2 strike count now. So you see what Melanson likes to do. Cutter to get ahead. He likes to finish with that breaking ball, and it is a good one.
Pitcher that hasn't struck out a ton this year. Most of the outs that he has picked up have come on the ground. Tried to front door Iglesias and missed by a smidge. Two and two against Jose Iglesias. His track record well known with 2 strikes. This time he did not go, and Mullins holds on at third. This year Iglesias hitting .345 with 2 strikes. That is the highest mark in the big leagues.
Yeah, Melanson goes right back to that knuckle curve to try to finish him. There's a good forward spin and another good job by d'Arnaud. This ball kicks way up, knocks the mask off, but the forward lean just under the mask to keep it in front. Yeah, Iglesias does not mind hitting with 2 strikes.
DJ Stewart next. Chops this one to third. Riley gets the out at first. Orioles pick up their first run as Iglesias with his 20th RBI of the year, but now down to your final out. Mullins comes home after he doubled, got to third on a wild pitch. Iglesias bounces out. Well, here's Stewart. Had a home run last night. Today hitless. 2 ground outs and a flyout. Strike called. One ball and 1 strike against Stewart. Keegan Aiken starts for the Orioles tomorrow. Cole Hamels will be making his season debut with the Braves. 7:35 first pitch tomorrow. Pulled on the ground. Albies straightens, picks up the out, and that will do it. Orioles manage a run in their half of the 9th, but the Braves 3 runs in the 9th, runs in the 3rd and 4th innings, and great pitching by that Atlanta staff tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Not much going on by the Orioles. 2 base hits for Iglesias. He drove in the only run for the Orioles. The good news for the Orioles, Paul Fry and Lakins and Sulser were really good in relief and gave the Orioles a chance there till the very end. And Eshelman not a bad job, 3 1/3, 2 runs. So the Orioles have to regroup, try to win the series tomorrow.
And they will try and do it as we wrap up this 3-game set. We told you Cole Hamels takes the mound for the Braves against Keegan Aiken for the Orioles. Coverage on Masson begins at 7 o'clock with O's Extra presented by PNC Bank, followed by game coverage at 7:30. Orioles can't get it done tonight, fall by a final score of 5-1 for Ben McDonald and Rock Kabako. Jeff Arnold saying so long. Coming up next, Brett and Bordy have got you covered with O's Extra. Good night.